The choice is yours. Have you ever said to yourself, I don't know how I got here? But in reality, if you would just take a step back and look back over your life, there are some choices that you made that are now springing up. It's not just coming out of the wind, it's connected to some stuff you decided to do a while ago. So you choose which path you take. And when you choose it, you must own it. I'm not a believer in luck, but I do believe that you reap what you sow. You reap from both the good and the bad seeds, because they're all going to spring up. So be upfront about your choices. Most people would rather hear a person own their decisions than try to blame somebody else for their problems. I can't stand to hear somebody say that if my mama hadn't, or if my daddy hadn't, or if my teachers would have. No, what about you? There were some choices that you could have made to change some things in your life. But when you choose to follow your flesh, understand that you're going to reap from your flesh. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what you've been through. But could it be you planted that? Y'all going to get that on the parking lot. Choices. We make choices. Even from the age of a child, we make choices. I can remember as a child, my father, he used to have this Lincoln Continental, Bishop. Nice car. And old Lincoln, and the lights used to come up and go down. You remember them old cars? I know, Bishop, you ain't as young as you look, but I know you know what I'm talking about. And my daddy used to run a candy store. And so I had went to work with him one day, and I'm sitting in the car, and I'm turning them lights on. I'm turning them off. I just like the sound of the lights when they came to say, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm turning them on, and I'm turning them off. And I turned them on one last time, Minister Watson. I heard them go, I said, I'm getting ready. I'm going to go to the house. And I went to turn them off, and I pushed the button in, and they went. So I pulled the button back out, and I heard the noise go. So I pushed the button back in, and I ain't hear nothing. And I made a choice. Sitting in that vehicle, Bishop, I made a choice. The choice I made was to get out the car, close the door, and go to my room. Bad choice. Because the way the car was facing, as soon as my daddy walked out the store, he saw them lights was up. And I don't understand, to this day, I don't understand why he didn't think my sisters did it. I don't understand why he automatically came to me, Sister Melcy, and asked me about them lights. But as I'm older now, I understand that my daddy had already experienced some of my choices. So he didn't have to doubt about, Minister Watson, who did them lights. He just came and took care of me for them lights. But I understand another fact in that I could have simply gotten out of the car, walked in the store, told him what I did. Now, I was still going to get a whooping, but it wouldn't have been like the whooping that I got. And some of us are at a point in our lives where we refuse to own our choices and don't understand why things haven't came back in order yet. And God says, you chose to do that thing, and I'm waiting on you to come back to me and tell me, God, this is what I did. Because he already knows. And God, I need you to help me rectify this thing. Some of us are waiting on the perfect mate. And through that process, we have chosen to overlook some folks. Because everybody is waiting on, I hear all the women talking about they waiting on their Boaz. But what I've come to find out, that there will be some Boaz that you overlook who are on their way to being Boaz. God, I wish I could help somebody in here. There are some people who have the qualities on the inside of them to be what God has called them to be in your life, but because they're not the total package yet. And I wish I had a witness in here who would say that when God first met you, you wasn't a total package. But he didn't overlook you, waiting on you to become what he had destined you to become. Because if you're like me, I'm still yet progress.